What's up, guys? It's your boy, G.T.M, Green the Militant. And today I'm going to be talking about Frozen 2. I'm a big kid, so I was really looking forward to this movie. Frozen 2, Disney, you delivered. You done it again, Disney. You made me smile. This is going to be a spoiler and a non-spoiler review. I was really happy with the movie. Like, I really enjoyed the plot, revisiting the old Frozen gang. You know, Olaf is my guy. I love you, Olaf. Really amazing animation, you know, visually it's stunning. You know, Disney is on top of the game right now. I actually can't think of a film that Disney's got wrong in the last few years. Like, Disney is killing it. They killing it. So Frozen 2 is directed by Jennifer Lee and Chris Buck. So this sequel really does answer questions around Frozen's history and the family history between Elsa and Anna. Definitely say the original was better, but obviously that was brand new, fresh. But this was a really decent sequel. The old cast returning, you got some new cast too. There's a lot of what the fuck moments in this. Like, there's a few times where you're like, oh my god. Like, you're on the edge of your seat. No spoilers, of course, but yeah. I do feel like something was missing in this movie. Like, I don't know if I'm being a bit nitpicky here, but I do feel like there was something missing. And I'll talk about that more in the spoilers section. So if you want to know what it was, check out the spoilers after you watch the movie. So I've been waiting for this movie for 6 years. The first Frozen was 2013. So yeah, it's been a little while since the first one. And I would say I'm actually quite happy with how this Frozen 2 turned out. To recap the story quickly with non-spoilers. The movie starts off with King Agnar, which is Elsa and Anna's father, telling them a bedtime story about their grandfather, King Runard, and his treaty with the Northundra people. So that's like a tribe that live in the Enchanted Forest. Fight happens, and for a reason, they're trapped in the forest. They're in the Enchanted Forest. They're trapped there. The King Agnar obviously escaped. He has an unknown savior. Then we return to present day, 3 years after Elsa's coronation, celebrating autumn with the gang. So obviously Olaf is loving the autumn time. And Elsa hears a voice calling her. Elsa, Elsa. It didn't sound like that, I'm joking. Elsa follows the voice because she's like, who the fuck is that? And she ends up unintentionally awaking the spirits of the Enchanted Forest. So the kingdom has to evacuate, and the trolls explain that there's going to be some stuff going down that might lead to impending doom. This causes the gang to go on another adventure where they explore and try and figure out what the hell's going down in the Enchanted Forest town. This movie also centers around Elsa feeling like, you know, it's kind of a search for identity for her. She feels like she's misplaced in the kingdom of Arendelle. So the movie kind of explores that too. There is a post-credit scene in this movie, so make sure you'll stay after the movie finishes, because there is a post-credit scene. I do feel this was a good movie, but as I said before, I feel like it's missing something, like a key element. I do feel like it was a very good sequel. Like, it does succeed in bringing us back into the characters' lives and actually exploring some lore around the tale, so I did like that. The new songs were decent. You know, they did have some bangers in there. You know, find out in the spoilers what my favorite ones were. Really recommend giving this one a watch. Yeah, so I would rate this movie 8 out of 10. And the reason I'm giving it an 8 is because I feel like there was a key element of the movie missing. Also, I feel like they told the story in a very old-fashioned way, and I thought they were going to bring some new twist to it, which you didn't really get. So that's why I ain't gonna give it 10. With the first Frozen, you're like, whoa, you know, this is brand new, this is cool. But obviously now we're used to it. 3 years later, we were kind of expecting, you know, to be told in a more, you know, fresh, vibrant way. But you kind of get the old kind of storytelling, which is in the first one, which isn't bad, but it's just like, I kind of expected a new vibe, like, you know, new Frozen. Yeah, so if you don't want to hear spoilers, please leave now. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and click the notification bell to keep up to date with my latest shit. Come watch the spoilers so you can find out what I thought of the other shit in the movie that happens. So obviously I don't want to spoil it for you guys. And remember to watch that post-credit scene. Do not miss it. Your warning to leave is expiring, so please leave now. So please leave if you don't want to get some spoilers. Alright, so let's story recap with spoilers. The movie starts off with King Agnar talking to Elsa and Anna, talking about King Runard, which is their grandfather, and his treaty with the Northundra tribe. Basically built the dam, making it appear like a friendly gesture, but it was actually to block off their water supply and stuff, so he could take them out of the game, because he didn't like that they were using magic and stuff. So it kind of touches on the idea of colonialism, but they didn't really do anything with it, which is a shame, because it's like, if you're gonna bring up that theme, come on, brother, explore the theme. A fight happens between the Northundra and the Arendellian soldiers and the king, which King Runard dies. Elemental spirits are enraged. So you got the elemental spirit, which is the little fire gecko. I love him, he's so cute. I love lizards. He was my favorite spirit. And you got the water spirit, which is the water horse. Little Gale, which is the wind spirit or whatever, you know, Gale. Olaf names it Gale, which is kind of cute. Gale. Everybody loves Gale. I can't actually remember the last spirit. I think it's the Earth Giants. I'm not sure though. Hopefully, I'm right, but if not, I'm sorry for the forgotten spirit. Also, the fifth spirit, which Elsa realizes is her, so that's pretty cool. King Agnar escapes, and later on we find out that his savior was actually his wife, which is Queen Iduna, who's actually part of the Northunder tribe, which is a big shack. Return to present day with the gang celebrating autumn, so obviously it's 3 years after the coronation. Elsa hears a voice calling out to her, which we later find out is her mama's voice, Queen Iduna. Also follows the voice and she unintentionally awakens all the spirits and they all start going batshit crazy and they start messing up the kingdom. So obviously the kingdom evacuates and then the trolls roll down. You know, Kristoff's family roll down from the hills and they're like, you know, shit's going down. We the trolls, we're here to warn you of the impending doom. So they act as like the doomsayers. That they've got to unravel the real truth behind the kingdom's history. And if they don't, then everything's gonna be finished for Arendelle. This makes the gang go on an adventure to the enchanted forest, and obviously they run into the elemental spirits, which is the little fire gecko that I love, and you know, Gale and all the other ones. Basically find out that it was Queen Iduna who is the one who saved King Agnar, and it actually unites the Arendellian soldiers which have been trapped in the forest for 36 years or whatever, how long it was, and the Northunder tribe. So it unites them knowing that they've got like a common, they're joint together now. Queen Iduna was Northunder and King Agnar is obviously Arendellian. As I said, they run into the Northunder tribe. They're still fighting the Arendellian soldiers. Upon realizing that, it brings them together. So Elsa learns of a fifth elemental spirit, which she later finds out is her. Elsa and Anna leave the gang behind, and they actually stumble across the old wrecked ship, which is the ship that their parents died on. Inside the ship, there's a map that reveals the route to Atohallan. Atohallan? I don't know if I'm saying it. Atula. They're basically the river, the mythical river and shit that their mum, Queen Iduna, talks about in the story. Which is defended by the water spirit, which Elsa later tames and rides that pony all the way home. Elsa finds the voice is her mother, and that she's the fifth spirit when she gets past the dark sea. Elsa learns that the dam was built to restrict the water flow. Thunder's resources, as King Runar didn't lack their affinity for magic. So Elsa sends that information to Anna, and unfortunately because she's in the most dangerous part of the dark sea or whatever, she becomes engulfed in, like, she becomes frozen basically. She froze. The movie's called Frozen, she froze. Obviously because Elsa has frozen, Olaf fades, and that was the what the fuck moment I was talking about, because you think, oh my god, is Olaf gonna die? But Olaf don't die, he's safe. He is safe as hell, that's what we love. If they'd kill Olaf, we'd have a problem. We would have a problem. Anna receives this message from Elsa revealing the truth. She realizes that she needs to destroy the dam to free and return peace to the enchanted forest. She uses the giant earth spirits to hurl like the giant ass boulders, and the Arendellian soldiers, at first they think they're gonna stop her, but they actually let her go and they say, oh, you know what, you're right. And they go through, the earth giants be throwing their shit at the bridge, and it collapses the bridge, and then the water flows again. The water is heading towards Arendelle, so they're going to take Arendelle out the game. But luckily, Arendelle's already abandoned. The water is heading through. Obviously, Elsa thaws. She gets out of that motherfucking prison. She rides the horse. She goes and saves Arendelle, freezes all the water before it fucks up Arendelle. So Arendelle is safe. Gang reunite. Kristoff, who's been trying to make a marriage proposal all through the damn movie, finally gets to propose to Anna, and she says yes. Anna becomes the queen of Arendelle, and Elsa becomes the protector, the guardian of the Northunder tribe. And she's finally found out where she belongs. She regularly goes back to visit the kingdom, which is nice. There's still a bridge between them. She sends a letter through Gale, which is Gale, the magical wind shit. But peace is restored to the kingdom. So I'm not sure how they'd continue with the Frozen 3 if they do decide to do another sequel, because it kind of seems like everything's settled. I don't really know how they'd be able to bring back a Frozen 3, but it's welcome if it's going to be a good story and if they're going to have the key element, which is what... Oh yeah, the key element that I believe the movie was missing is a villain. And you had Hans in the first one, you know, you had someone to hate. Hated Hans, he's an evil motherfucker, he got out the game. My favorite character is Olaf. Olaf is my guy, the snowman of love. He's a character, even as an adult, that you enjoy because it's just his, like, you know, his jokes. They're quite more witty in this one. So it's quite funny because they made him a more philosophical character in this. So he's like, you know, contemplating life's deeper meanings. And he seemed to have matured, like, in his short time on Earth. It's like more contemplating the world around him. He's like, oh, you know, what does this mean? What is that? Oh, life, isn't it funny? You know. So it's quite funny to see Olaf transition to this more mature Olaf. Music was definitely better in the first, but I do feel like there were some bangers in Frozen 2, so there was still some good tunes. But I think they set the standards very high from the first one, so you're not always going to go out and make hits. My favorite songs in this one was the one with Olaf. They're just singing about how he interprets the world, and then he's like, you know, dissing, he's dissing Elsa, saying she's a little off key and stuff. That was really funny when he said that. Kristoff and Sven song. So obviously Kristoff talks for Sven. In that song, obviously Kristoff is always miming Sven says, and obviously he makes friends with Ryder, Northundra's version of Kristoff. So he makes friends with him. And obviously they talk a bit about advice. I thought, to be honest, I thought Ryder was gonna get with Elsa, but that didn't go down like that. So that was a bit, you know, maybe there might be a blossoming in the future of romance potential there, but nah, it didn't go down in this. I found it really funny how Kristoff was always trying to propose, but then there was always something getting in the way, and then Anna was thinking that, you know, oh shit, does he actually really love me? You know, it's a very adult thing in a kid's movie, like, you know, you can relate to that, you know, like, you don't want to send the wrong messages in a relationship, and obviously a relationship will go wrong. You know, so it's kind of like growing your relationship, it's taking it to the next stage. You know, it's quite adult themes in this kid's movie. I love that there's references to the original. You know, I mean, in the first one, I mean, I love how she's, do you want to build a snowman? And then she's like, okay, bye. Like, it's the biggest rejection. Like, I felt like that was such a hard scene because she's like, okay, bye. Like, you know, the feeling of rejection. That. But obviously at the end, it ends with that thing. Do you want to build a snowman? And obviously Olaf comes back to life, which is quality shit. I really do love the new character, Lieutenant Destin Mateus. I love that guy. Like, he's just so cool. Like, he's just hella cool, and he's, you know, been in the forest all this time. And I love when he goes back and he asks about like this romantic interest he had, and she's still there, but and she's single. And he comes back to the village. They're obviously taking photos because she's like trying to teach him about photographs and stuff. So, and he's like this guy who's been like out of the game a long time, and he's like learning all these, you know, how to take photographs. Fire Gecko Spirit. I don't know his name, but he is hella cute. I love lizards. I've always loved lizards, like, you know, any kind of lizard, like little gecko turtle thing. You know, all the reptiles, I really love them. So yeah, this little gecko was really cute, and I love how he like cools off him and he cools down and becomes his true form. So he's just really cool. I like that. You gotta love that. That's my favorite spirit out of all the spirits. I feel like this movie developed the characters. Like we got to see a lot of character development, which Olaf maturing. It really explored the lore around Frozen, which was really cool. Like, I like to see some Frozen lore, and like obviously, you know, learn about the family history, like the King Ruinard wasn't actually such a great guy. So you find out the truth about your, you know, their root. I found like Anna in this movie like hella annoying. Like, she was just like always like, oh Elsa, I need to follow you. Where are you going? She's like constantly up Elsa's backside, like, give me some personal space, bitch. I like the new Earth Giants in this. They're really cool, you know, throwing the boulders and shit. And I like how the trolls return. You know, Kristoff's family kind of returns, and they're warning them of the doom, so they come down from the mountains. But it's a very brief interaction with the trolls. It's like in the first one, they're not really like such a big presence in the movie. They're still there. They're like the secondary characters. But yeah, they're really cool. I like the trolls. I do like the troll. I think this was a brilliant movie. I do feel like a key element was missing in terms of a villain. Like, the first one had Hans, and he was a very hateable character. Like, you hated him at the end. And it was a bit of a shock factor when you found out he's really evil. I guess the villain would be King Ruinard, but obviously he's dead in this, so he's not like the villain, do you know what I mean? And like, there wasn't like a, I feel like if this movie had a villain, like, I would have given it 10 out of 10. Like, if it had like a proper solid villain, not like a villain from history, do you know what I mean? Like, a proper villain in this story, that would have been bad. I mean, that would have been good, yeah. So again, we got in Frozen 2, as we had in Frozen 1, we got stunning visual animation. Yeah, I love the settings of the Enchanted Forest and obviously of the Dark Sea. It just looked really brilliant. I mean, Disney, you killing it, man. You is killing the animation scene. I feel like there's some relatable themes in this movie, like obviously identity. Like, Elsa feels like she's misplaced in her kingdom of Arendelle. She goes after the voice, and she finally finds like where she's meant to be, like meant to belong in, you know, with the Northundra people. Identity struggle is a cool theme that some people can relate to. The way they told Frozen 2 seems outdated, like in the sense that when Frozen 1 was told, it was very new to us. Like, Frozen was a completely new avenue, and it's brilliant that kids nowadays actually have a thing to grow up with, because I feel like a lot of the Disney classics were when I was a child. So it's good that these new classics that are coming out, they can really grow up with the movie. Like, the way they told Frozen 2 was a bit outdated. I kind of wanted them to put a new spin on it, but maybe I'm being a bit nitpicky there, but that's just my personal opinion. Let me know what you guys think. I hate how they touch on the idea of colonialism, but then they don't really go anywhere with it. Kind of a shame that they brought up a theme and didn't really do anything with it. So one of my favorite scenes in this movie is when Olaf is singing, and then like Anna's saying, oh, you know, maybe you should stop, but he interprets it as Elsa should stop singing. So he's like, yeah, she is a bit Olaf key. So it's like, and those little digs by Olaf, because even as well, like he digs at Anna as well when he says, recaps the first Frozen's, like what happened in the first Frozen to the Northunder people and the Arendelian soldiers, because even the Arendelians, Lieutenant Dustin Mateus, he's like whoa, you know, it was cool to see his interactions as Olaf retells the story to them. And when Olaf's retelling the story, he goes, oh, Anna just met, like married a man she just met. It's kind of like, oh, you know, there's little digs at Anna and Elsa, so it's quite funny. Overall, just to wrap this up, like I feel like this was a brilliant movie. I definitely recommend watching it. You know, get your ass to the cinema, watch Frozen, and become Frozen. As I said, it's a very enjoyable movie. Obviously, the kids will love it. You know, it's definitely a kids movie, but it's got adult themes in it, which is really cool. I really did enjoy this movie. I feel like if they had included a villain, I would have given it 10 out of 10. But obviously, my rating stands at 8 out of 10. And let me know in the comments what you guys think of my rating, if you agree with some points or disagree. So let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you guys. Now remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you're enjoying my content, guys. You know, let me know what you guys think. I mean, I've been getting some really positive comments from people, and I really appreciate y'all. You love y'all. Yes, it's lovely to hear that I'm making people entertained. You know, that's what the aim of this channel is. Guys, let me know your thoughts on Frozen 2. I really enjoyed the movie. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And yeah, thank you for watching my review on Frozen 2. Take care. The first time in forever. Frozen, I can't sing for shit. But yeah, hope you enjoyed that. Take care, guys.